Sorry for the inconvenience. The next point will be rewarding yourself for good work. Rewards can be a great motivator for good time management. Give yourself a small reward for every task you accomplish in the day. For instance, you could celebrate finishing up a report by taking a 15-minute walk outside, or maybe like treat yourself a good meal, or maybe your favorite snacks. Teaching approaches. As teachers become more and more accountable for student success, taking advantage of every minute of class time becomes crucial. Efficient use of class time can increase student performance and decrease teacher anxiety. There are three phases of teaching: pre-active phase, interactive phase, and post-active phase. Uh, Lesson plan. Most lesson plans will give you presentation times, lengths for activities, even suggestion on when to take breaks. Lead-in activity. Technique used to get students to task immediately upon entering the classroom while the teacher take role and organize class materials. Shortly discuss the lead-in activity before beginning the class. A word of the day. Students respond to a quote or word written on the board by putting it down in their notebooks. Brain teaser question. Students are given a question that will challenge them to get their brains warmed up. Review. Make sure that students know what is expected of them during your class time. Discuss each portion of the class in advance so that students know what is in store for them. Have a student recap the previous day's lesson by giving a short overview in front of the classroom. Lecture or notes. Students' attention spans are short, but notes and lectures are very necessary. Cover a suitable amount of materials so that the main points can be reinforced later in the class through activities. Encourage students' input and questioning during lecture time, demonstration or group activities. Provide a hands-on activity to reinforce the class topic. Example of this can be a group assignment, a lab experiment, a brainstorming activity, or a demonstration. Lesson overview. Make sure that all points of the lesson have been addressed during this time. Review topics by asking question, what did we learn today? See if they got the message. Have students reflect in their notebooks what they thought were important topics of the day's lesson. Now, there are some few things, there are some common time management mistakes. There are some common time management mistakes that people fail to do. Failing to keep a to-do list, not prioritizing tasks, failing to manage distractions, procrastination, inability to say no, multitasking, all work and not play. Failing to keep a to-do list. To-do lists are something that most of us have tried to use for one reason or the other, at least once in our lifetime. But did you know that 41% of the to-do tasks are never completed? The only way to truly understand how to use a to-do list appropriately is to stop making the 7 most common to-do list mistakes. Mistake number 1, tasks on the list don't have set deadlines. Not setting a specified deadline or goal for the lineup. A good task management list works only when you set a deadline for completion. Mistake number 2, too many items on your list. Too many items on your list are found to make you feel intimidated and more stressed, because a bigger number of problems to be solved makes our brain think of them as never-ending stories. Mistake number 3, not knowing which task to put on the list. A major mistake being made is not knowing how to choose the most important task out of all the things you might feel the need to work on that particular day. Mistake number 4, lists that have mixed up goals and context. Remember to separate your list for work, household, etc. Mistake 5, not tracking the progress. Too many people don't know how to track progress. They make to-do lists and tick them off when finished, but just ticking something off the list does not make you evaluate your work efficiently. Mistake number 6, not understanding where to start after the list is ready. Starting with a random task can increase your risk of multitasking the whole day. And you already know that jumping from one task to another because you cannot decide where to start is not smart. My advice for this will be start the day with the most important and unpleasant work on your list that you are most likely to procrastinate on. Mistake number 5, creating the list on the day. A great way to do this is by planning for the next day just before leaving for your work. Number 2, not prioritizing goals. When we do not have a clear sense of our priorities, we can engage in multitasking by trying to do it all. A lack of prioritizing can lead to burnout. 3, failing to manage distractions. You are going to need a lot of mental and physical energy to juggle your priorities, manage visitors, and have the discipline to control your use to technology. A lack of focus can lead to distraction and a lack of real progress on your goals. Procrastination. Procrastination is the act of delaying or putting off tasks until the last minute or past the deadline. Inability to say no. The fear of saying no always stems from the urge to avoid conflicts or confrontation. Multitasking. Multitasking can take place when someone tries to perform two tasks simultaneously. Uh, when in simple words, like multitasking means when one person handles more than one task at the same time. Multitasking reduces your efficiency and performance because your brain can only focus on one thing at a time. All work and no play. Constant work without rest or relaxation is harmful to one's personal life and well-being. A person without time off from work um, uh, becomes more bored and boring. Time management tips for teachers. There are like 6 points which I would like to discuss. The first point is understanding your students. Practice patience with rational detachment. Set effective limits. Keep to the schedule you set. Be aware of the cost of the behavior. Engage with students. Student behavior like shouting, not paying attention, avoiding work, disrespect, refusal, take your focus away from teaching, and students' focus away from learning. The following classroom management strategies can be used to help maintain student focus and create student consistency in the classroom. Understanding your students. Get to know each student as an individual, build trust and understanding, practice patience with rational detachment. Keep in mind that you have a choice about how you respond to a student in distress. Choose not to take choose not to take their behavior personally and use positive self-talk. Set effective limits. Review and post your classroom expectation so that they are clearly visible. Keep to the schedule you set. The more organized you are, the more opportunity there is to focus on teaching and learning. This will help your students respect schedules and work within designated time frames. Be aware of the cost of behavior. If a student seems consistently irritable or inattentive in the morning, make sure to check if the student is sick or hungry and attend to it. Classroom management is not just about avoiding student disruptions, but about creating an environment that enables students to focus on. Engage with students. As you're teaching, try making friendly eye contact with the student. Encourage them to focus on what is being taught by asking questions and using names. When students know what to expect from you and what you expect from them, they're more likely to be productive learners. Obstacles to effective time management. We will be discussing 4 points: unclear objectives, being disorganized, lack of planning, and interruption. When we talk about time management, there is definitely going to be barriers and obstacles which will not manage your time. Let us understand what these obstacles and barriers are. Unclear objectives. These unclear objective really lead to lack of time management because you don't know where to get started. You don't know what to do and what not to do. So we need to have clear directions, clear objectives on why you have to do that particular task. Being disorganized. Nothing can be more annoying than being disorganized. Uh, uh, Wherever you are, maybe it may be in your work or at home. Always have your table in your area organized well. If you are well organized, you are able to get your work done in lesser number of time. Lack of planning. If you do not have plan, you will never be able to schedule your task properly. Interruptions. Avoid disruptions and interruptions. Focus on your task that is essential and most important. Identifying your time wasters, interruptions or distractions, poor planning, perfectionism, trying to do everything yourself, talking too much, crisis management, too much socializing, not valuing your own time, and lack of skills. We waste so much time within our 24 hours. We waste 80% of our day on activities which are which are not really productive. Well, this is something which we are going to cover on time management. Understanding our time wasters, interruptions or distractions, poor planning, not able to plan well, perfectionism, expecting too much, uh, uh, expecting too much, or maybe expecting your work to be perfect in perfect mode, trying to do everything yourself, taking on too much, taking on like for example, like taking on too much responsibilities on yourself, crisis management, too much socializing, spending too much time on the outside world, not valuing your own time. If you do not value your own time, nobody else will value your time. The last is lack of skills. Well, these are the certain areas or certain problems which will creep up, which are your time wasters or time robbers. Once we know how to deal with all of these things, we are one step closer to success. Well, I would like to conclude by saying that time is equal to money. Time spent or time lost will never come back again. Learn how to prioritize, learn how to schedule your priorities, learn how to manage your time better if you want to be successful in your life. Thank you.